Messages from Heaven by Jaynee. I've been away for 3 weeks. I had major surgery. I live in Philadelphia, and I went to, well, actually, I come from Philadelphia. I live right now in Delaware, which is the state next, one of the states next to Pennsylvania, and it's easy to get to Jefferson Hospital. Um, I had a very bad back, which I'm sure some of you have. Be careful about what you pick up, how you bend, how you bend. Um, just take care of yourself because it is hard to recover from. Um, I wasn't in terrible pain after the surgery. Um, it really was okay, but I still wouldn't generally recommend heavy duty surgery if you don't have to have it. I have to be in rehab for, boy, I guess probably another 3 weeks. I was at my daughter's and son-in-law's, and has been a nurse for 30 something years, and so he took care of me. Um, he was wonderful, but it's hard. It's really hard. I used uh, the energy that I had, and I am really limping along. It's like I said, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah. Um. Okay. What I wanted to talk about was how to manage past lives. Um, we all we all return to sender basically and go out again on more lives over and over and over. We have these humongous families on the other side that frequently include the people with whom we've interacted in every life, but they look different. One time they're Asian, the next time they might be African from Mozambique, and the next time they might be British. People, we take different bodies. We take different parents, different everything in each life. And while we're in that life, we usually do not remember our past lives. Um, do you want to remember your past lives? There are people who charge a lot of money to help you do that. You really don't need the help if you can wait. This is what you do. You meditate. For one, you can listen on YouTube, or I think another one of those applications. You listen and you get into meditation. It doesn't have to be long. You can meditate for as short as 5 minutes, as long as 4 hours. I mean, you just do it at whatever speed you feel is right. That's it. Um, so you meditate and talk to the ceiling, or just talk to your family, talk to whoever you care about who's on the other side. They actually hear you. Um, Sometimes it takes them very little bit to get to you, but they get there, and um, I think it can take years before they answer, and then we're not sure of what they're saying, or that it's even them. I've been finding pigeon feathers outside. I don't know if they're from my cat who goes outside in the morning, and he's a mouser. I mean, real mouser. He's I call him my what do you call it? He's my payback for many bad stuff I did during my life. But boy, he's a tough cookie. His name is Cody. All right, let me take a drink. So you meditate, you talk to the people. Ultimately, their response will come through your imagination, which makes it even harder to know what they're saying. Sometimes you might know what they're saying. You might be able to imagine what they're saying if you knew them really well. It doesn't matter. They may send you, if you really pay attention, you stay with it, they may be able to send you pictures of their response, which is great. It feels great. Eventually, you will know when they're around. You'll be able to feel them being there. The other night, when I was still at my daughter and son in law's, I felt my whole family, both sides. I felt his family, his parents are dead. Um, Everybody was there, including my great grandparents, and I'm sure his were. It was a real crowd in the dining room. Why? I don't know. Well, I know they saw it as a party. The fact is, you have you have family on the other side. It's just another what do you call it, dimension, and they're there. Everybody has them. Um, they could be grandparents, great grandparents, because remember, you probably have had lives with some of them, especially certain ones pop in and out of your lives. I know my brother has, I know my cousin has. In one life, my cousin was my brother, another life, he was my cousin. My little granddaughter was my sister, she was my twin in another life. That is how we go. And when you realize that, it changes your outlook a little bit. So, if you're doing that, if you're talking to the spirits, either your personal spirits, we have angels, which I didn't believe, but it's actually true because when one introduced herself, the corner of my room lit up. So my skepticism was overcome. Um, there were no lights in that part of the room. There was no reason for it to light up, but it lit up. Um, I learned about twins being, or not just twins, I mean, people in our families who cannot be born from the people from whom they're supposed to be born. They're born from almost surrogate parents and adopted into our family, but they actually belong in our family, which I would never have believed, except that my granddaughter, when she was an infant and was talking already, said to me, "You're beautiful." And I said, I mean, I was much younger. And she said that. And I said, "What?" She said, "You're my twin." Yeah, we were twins in Spain in from the 1920s until I passed away in 1937. Um, I was able to find out what happened, how, all that stuff. And you can too. If you do these things that I'm talking about, which, yes, they're tiresome or you got to do it. They're kind of fun though, especially when you start getting some kind of response from your families. If there's anybody you want to have a response from, it's really great. Um, what happens is you gradually, while you're doing those things, you gradually have a kind of deja vu. You realize when you're doing something that, oh my God, I did this before. It wasn't in this life. Um, you realize that you look at other nations, maybe you live in Spain and you realize, I'm really interested in the news about Germany. It's a special country for me. Why? The reason is you live there, and it was a special country. You had a life there that meant something to you. Um, how much do these other lives influence your life now? Not a whole lot. Um, I had one where I was a sailor and drowned. I've always been terrified of water. Is it because of that? I don't know. My mother was terrified of water. She couldn't swim. Um, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. People say that the marks that you have on your body are related to events that happened in your past life. Maybe. Where you might have gotten stabbed, hurt, fell, any kind of thing. Um, but you feel a kind of um, just feel special, and you know that you felt very proud of being whatever nationality that was. I have that about France. Uh, I think I think that I lived in. I don't know when I lived in France, but I know that I lived there, and I know that that feeling of pride came after Bonaparte. Um, um, what do you call it? Well, it is Bonaparte. Um, and now I can't think of his first name. I'm having a little trouble, but I have been. It's aphasia. Um, I guess it'll come to me. I've been reading the book on him, Napoleon. Yeah, goes after because before Napoleon, people were so poor. It was nobody was feeling except the very rich that um, they were tremendously proud they were French. There was no reason to feel that because they were being beaten down by everything. Um, so I just remembered one of the things I'm supposed to talk about. Okay, I'll tell you in the end. Anyway, so for me, being French meant something. It meant something important. Um, being in the Roman army, even though I wouldn't kill women and children and was killed for it, still I remember and I know two of the guys with whom I was in there with. I was a guy. We changed sexes all the time. Um, that's not a big deal either. So if you think it's a big deal, well, you'll have to just think again. That's all. Not such a big deal. Um, okay. So um, let's see. What else can I tell you about reincarnation? You don't have to come back. I don't really think you can choose, although maybe you can, um, what kind of body you come back in. I think that people can say if they want to experience a horrible life, people come back for those. Like somebody who's really so debilitated, they pick those lives because they learn a lot. I say, for me, no, thank you. I'll learn when I learn, and I urge you to do the same. Um, hopefully, a lot of the disabilities will be helped by more modern medicine. What we have today is, I mean, if they have to cut a person open to fix them, that's pretty bad, and it's pretty barbaric. I now have just about plates and saucers and spoons and knives in my back. Um, I think it's horrible, but God willing, it'll be fixed, and it won't hurt. But it's not something you want. Okay. Um, I will finish up with that, and I'm very open to questions. If you have any questions about reincarnation, you want to know more about how to do it, because it is really fun. It's informative, and I think it will help you understand yourself. This life that you are living right now is the epitome, it's the culmination of all your lives in the past. So even though you had, like I found while I was, you know, getting better, here's another thing that will tell you something. I I like classical music. I also like music from the 70s a lot when I was, a young adult. Um, I like this piece by a guy named Smetana. Smetana, right. Well, he was from Moravia, which I didn't know in the beginning. I love this piece of music that he did. Oh my goodness, I just adored it. I played it over and over and over and over. Um, Turns out, and I knew that once in my life I had been this terrific dancer. I was Moravian. I saw myself dancing. You will too. You'll see yourself doing stuff. You'll know it's you, and you're doing something that you could never do in this life. And you'll be amazed. It can be anywhere. I didn't know Moravia from Batavia, and that's a place too. But I didn't know that Moravia existed, and I lived there, and I was this dancer, and I looked up their folk dances, and I don't know what kind of I think I was dancing a folk dance, but fabulously, uh, very interesting, kind of Russian. It's in Eastern Europe, very interesting. And you realize you are more than you realize. You are so much more. Each of us is just like a snowflake. We are unique. You are the only one ever of you. And yes, you've lived before and you've been a dancer, a singer. I have been an Irish tenor living in Ireland in the 1700s and singing. Um, you can talk to that part of you, that life, that piece of you. I did talk to him. He wasn't such a great guy. He wasn't very responsible, um, but he had a voice. What a voice! And when you find out those things, it's it just builds some pride in yourself, knowing what you have done. It's really love yourself. You're the only you, and no one can love you and appreciate you the way you can. Okay. The next time I want to talk about Jesus or Joshua. I told you that we're friends, and we are. So he told me he wants me to talk about his life, what he did, and who he was, and all that, because he didn't expect to start another religion. It wasn't his intention. So next time, I will talk about that. I'm not sure when. I didn't think I could do it today, but I did. So, okay. Um, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely evening. Thank you. Good night now. Bye bye. Oh, somebody asked me how old am I? 77. Wow. Okay.